Great decorating is all about the details, including a gorgeous textured set of coasters. How we love a coaster. Functional. And why not be beautiful? Quince has a gorgeous set of woven rattan coasters in 3 terrific colors with their own little holder that you're going to absolutely love. And if you haven't visited quince.com/DTT yet, get on over there. It's everyday elevated living without the markup. From crisp 100% linen bedding and soft organic cotton towels to airy curtains and premium kitchen tools designed for everyday use. And the best part? Like Quince's clothing, their home goods are half the cost of similar brands. By partnering with top artisans, Quince cuts out the cost of the middleman and passes the savings on to us. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. Elevate your space with home essentials from Quince. Go to quince.com/DTT for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/DTT to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DTT. Put your feet up and stay a while. Hey, I'm Kelly Wilkniss here with Anita Joyce, and this is Decorating Tips and Tricks. Today, we're talking all about how to create comfort. We want your home to be like the comfort of a trusted friend, a place that holds your joy, your memories, that's familiar. And we've got some really good ideas on how you can get there if you're not there yet.
I like to say, I want a home to give you a warm hug. To me, that's what we're talking about today.
I love that. And I did once get that compliment from a friend who came to visit. She walked in, she said, "It feels like your house is giving me a hug." And I thought, that is the best compliment ever. It's so much better than, "Oh, I like your colors," or "Where did you get that lamp?" Because it's the overall feel. And sometimes that's a little mercurial. Like you really can't put your hands on it, but you know it. You can feel the hug when you get there, right? So if you don't feel like your home's there yet, and that's where you want to be, because who wouldn't want to be in the embrace of a nice warm hug from a trusted friend? So we're going to help you get there today.
Well, before we get to that, I have some exciting news. And that is that we have a brand new website. And we've been working on this for quite a while. I am so excited. It's actually extremely simple and easy to use.
It's fantastic. Yes. Anita and I have been working really hard for months and months and months to do some administrative and sort of back end work on the podcast. And sort of the icing on the cake was creating this new website. And it's really a website for all of you because it's much more interactive. You can get to a lot more of our other content from there, like videos and things like that. You can even leave a voicemail message, and it's just got a lot more bells and whistles. But yes, as Anita mentioned, super easy to use. And Anita's put a lot of work into putting that all together. It looks fantastic. She did an amazing job. And I think it's going to be a great destination. So I know a lot of you go to the show notes because you have shared with us that you love the links and you love that, what we talk about shows up there and you can go take a look at it, or you can check out our crushes and whatnot. So definitely head over to the new website. It's the same URL, right, Anita?
It is decoratingtipsandtricks.com like it was before. And you can access the episodes. But we also have a page for all of our wonderful videos, and it's on Kelly's YouTube channel and all of her videos. You can just go to decoratingtipsandtricks.com, click on videos at the top, and you'll see all of her wonderful videos there. And there is also a page for reviews and a link for you to leave a review if you'd like. We, of course, have our consult page. There's a contact us. And if you want to follow the show, there are links to follow it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and a few others there. And then, yes, what Kelly mentioned, there's a way for you to leave a voicemail that we might share in an upcoming episode. So we are excited about the opportunity to hear from you, literally from your voices.
Yeah. And when we first started, we had a phone number.
That's
and people
right.
were calling in there. But, the technology in 7+ years has come so far. So this is so much easier. And with regard to the reviews, we are so appreciative of every single one of you that has taken the time to leave a review. And those of you who have done so before the new dawn of our brand new website, we are even more appreciative because Apple makes it super hard to leave a review. But now it is so easy. So if you are enjoying the show, if you have been enjoying the show, or if you've had a consult with us and you're enjoying the show, we would really appreciate it if you just pop in there and you leave a review. It will go directly to Apple, right, Anita? And hopefully your 5-star review will be showing there, and we'll get a notification that you left it. And it really does help the show a lot. It helps us grow. It helps us get recognized by other people who haven't found us yet. We'd love you to leave a review and let us know that you're loving DTD.
Speaking of what listeners are saying, we did hear from a listener recently, and I have not asked, because we just got it a few hours ago, I have not asked for permission to share her email or her name, so I will just be referring to it as a listener. We did hear from someone who listened to the dining room episode who felt like we were saying that you should not entertain guests in your kitchen, and that we were critical of anybody that wanted to entertain in their kitchen. And she actually does not have a dining room. And so she was saying how much she liked entertaining people in her kitchen and how she did not see a problem with that. And we did want to mention that we agree with that a kitchen is fine. We weren't saying you have to entertain in your dining room. We were saying if you have a dining room, it's a shame to let it sit there empty and not use it.
Totally agreed. And I eat in my kitchen with my family most nights. So I don't have a problem with that at all. Anybody who's listening for a long time knows I don't have an island, but I definitely have a kitchen table, and we gather around that a lot. There's no keeping people out of the kitchen. It is definitely the hub of the home. And the episode was about the dining room. So we just thought if one person left a comment like that maybe other people were feeling, oh, hey, what about me? I don't have a dining room to entertain in. That's fine. And if you listen to the episode, we're talking about if you have a dining room or you're thinking about building a house, maybe you want to put one in, but definitely does not preclude you from entertaining in your kitchen or anywhere else that you want to in your home. So, but thank you for the comments. We're glad you're listening. Today, we're going to talk all about comfort. And for me, comfort really starts with the functionality. Because if your room doesn't function well or your home doesn't function well, how can it possibly be comfortable? On the decor end, how can it possibly be beautiful if it doesn't function well? I mean, it could be beautiful in a magazine sort of way, but it's not going to be beautiful for you to actually be in there. And it's certainly not going to be comfy. So you've got to get the function right. And to do that, I think you have to really be honest about the way you live and the people who live with you, right? So it can't be because you want to emulate someone you saw on Instagram, or you want to emulate Anita or I, or you want to emulate something that you see in a magazine. That's maybe for a mood board or a Pinterest board or sort of a general vibe, but you have to really drill down to how you and your family or your housemates are moving about the home and how you're functioning in there. And so what will support you in what you need to do there and what you want to do there, and then make it comfortable.
Yes, I think that's right. I think you really do need to assess how the room is actually being used. I think that's very important because that really does drive what you put in the room, because maybe it's a room meant for one thing, but you're using it in a completely different way. Like a dining room that maybe you don't use for dining. So you want to put some chairs in there and make it useful as a library or something like that. So one of the things I like to start with is, once you've kind of determined how you're using the room, a comfy sofa and chairs. And they really do need to be comfortable. I had some chairs that I got online at one point, and they were really kind of hard as a board. And just not comfortable, although they looked nice. Nothing was going to fix that. So I sold them, and somebody else is being miserably uncomfortable on those chairs. But at least they could sit on them before they bought them, because I sold them to a resale shop. But for me, that is a problem when you're buying something online. So that's why it's really very, very important that you read those reviews if you're buying online. And I did want to include a chair that I found online that is a dark leather Safavia club chair for around $400. That looks very comfortable, has great reviews.
Yeah, it's really hard to buy online. We have a whole episode about buying a sofa online. So if you're in the market for a comfy sofa, that would be an episode that you want to tune into as well. We go through a lot of information about what you should look for, and not only the structure, but the comfort level. And something that, since we started talking about furniture, that you want to look for in a sofa or a chair is the amount of foam or down, and what is the best. I find that 100% down is kind of a downer because
Yeah.
it's too squishy.
Yes.
And it doesn't look good when you get up. And if you're a small person like me, you might just get sucked right into that piece of furniture. And so I don't think it's 100% comfortable for an actual piece of furniture, whether it be a chair or a sofa or something like that. We'll talk about inserts. I'm sure we will, because they're important. I definitely have some things I want to say about those, but let's put the pillow inserts aside for right now. So I'm talking about the cushions that would come on a chair or a sofa. My preference would be down wrapped in the foam. So foam wrapped down, you could say.
Yes.
Either way. And that is really the best of both worlds, because you're getting the down inside. So you're getting that comfort. You're kind of getting that little bit of like a sink, a little squish, but the foam is keeping it a little bit more resilient. It's easier to get out of. When you get up from it, it then rises again, and it looks good when you step away from the piece of furniture. How do you feel about that, Anita?
Oh, yes. In fact, I have, if I had my camera, I could take a picture right now, but then I would be walking away from my microphone. But our sofa is down wrapped foam, and it looks great, and it's very comfortable to sit on. Whereas in my bathroom, I have a French chair with a down fill cushion.
A French chair looks good in every room, even the closet, even the bathroom.
It's just, I put my towel on it, but you can sit and put your shoes on or whatever there. But it is a very old chair, and it is just down in the seat cushion, and I cannot get that thing to stay. As soon as you sit on it, it's mushed. And it is a major effort to refluff it every time. So, yeah, so that is a problem. And actually, I've had really old antique pieces that they got in them and said, oh, this thing's got full of horsehair. So, yeah.
Yeah, I had that with some chairs that we found in the barn here. And
yeah. They said, we had to throw that out. I'm like, yeah, thank you. They said, there were things living in there. I said, oh, I'm so glad you got rid of it.
A couple of horse flies and whatnot.
Yeah, something. And I'm like, oh, that is so nasty. I don't even want to know. So just fix it up for me.
Exactly. Make it look nice. So in addition to assessing the functionality of the room or your home, to be comfortable, you want to surround yourself with collected and meaningful pieces. So collected and meaningful decor. And this is something that's going to happen over time. We love the collected look. We have episodes on that. We interviewed 3 fabulous ladies who really focus on that particular way of decorating. And that's going to add comfort, because when you think about the fact that you want your house to feel like it's giving you a hug, or the people who come visit, giving them a hug as well. And when you walk in, it feels like it's the comfort of a friend, that this is your place. Well, how is that going to happen if the things that are surrounding you don't mean anything to you, or they're all so sterile, or there's just no personality at all? So you want to add in things of meaning. It doesn't have to be expensive, but it needs to be things that really resonate with you. So for me, so far, we've got the function, and then we've got the meaningful decor, the meaningful items that you're surrounding yourself with. And I think when you put those things together, then you're getting towards the formula for creating a comfortable home.
Yeah, I think so. Another thing that I think really helps make it feel more comfortable is if you use an ottoman instead of a coffee table. And I love doing this. And again, you can make it very comfortable with a coffee table. But what's more inviting than having a place to put your feet up? So I do love the idea of an ottoman. And I found another item online that I think someone might want, and it's an oversized leather ottoman from Ballard Designs that's 36 by 50. And I think this would work very well with a sofa. And because it's leather, it's going to hold up well.
Oh, that's a nice size.
Well, right. And then it's extra seating if you're having a party. And I mean, I do think we need to think about, is the seating comfortable? You know, I love my little French delicate chairs, but am I going to put those in my living room for guests to sit in for a couple of hours when they're over? Of course not. Of course not. Because they're just not that comfortable. So I think you do really need to think about your seating.
And certainly all those cane back chairs or cane seated chairs need to be hidden away, because no one, A, they're not comfortable, and B, somebody might go through them. And that's embarrassing and unfortunate for everyone. Hey, we'll be right back with the rest of the show, but keep listening so we can continue bringing you DTT. So have you tried Dupe yet? If you haven't, come on, dupe.com. It is going to be your new shopping best friend. And it's not just for furniture. I know I've shared with you about my coffee table dupe, but you can save money with Dupe on fashion, shoes, jewelry, and more. I just used Dupe to find an absolute perfect twin of this t-shirt that I wanted. It was an $80 t-shirt. I was not going to pay $80 for a t-shirt. Dupe helped me find the twin, like maybe the exact same shirt. Find something you love, and then you can find replicas, twins, and maybe the exact thing for so much less. Give Dupe a try today. It is really so easy to use. You just type dupe.com / before any product URL in your browser, and voila, it instantly finds you less expensive alternatives. They even have an app and a browser extension you can download. No account is required. No sign up is required. It is completely free. I know, can you believe it? But it is completely free to use. Stop wasting money on brand names and start saving with dupe.com today. The third element that I think goes into the formula of creating a really comfortable home is choosing deliciously inviting pieces. And Anita's already shared a couple of those with us. So we talked about the sofa. We talked about the foam wrapped down. The ottoman is a great idea. And another idea is, it's not necessarily something you're going to sit on, but having mobile pieces of furniture, in particular, small little tables. This is where the nesting tables come in handy, because it's very uncomfortable if yourself or a guest is sitting somewhere and they have no place to put a glass or a mug, or just have something to the side of them where they feel like if they needed to put something down, whether it be a book or what have you, that they could do it. So I love having nesting tables incorporated in all of my spaces, and they're range in prices it's pretty great, and you can get a really nice looking set of 3 nesting tables, particularly if you're going for sort of a metal and glass look. You can start at Amazon even. They have great options there, and you can just sort of tuck them in there. You could spread them out where you can kind of see the surface of all 3 of them if you want to make that little unit feel a little bit bigger, or if you don't have the space or you just like the more streamlined look, you can tuck them all underneath each other. The little tiny one that I have in my living room, the tiniest one of the set of 3, that table gets moved around all the time. It's the perfect size for maybe a glass or 2, or a glass and a book, and people are just grabbing that and moving all around. So then you have more options of where you want to sit. So I think that's really important. So some mobile furniture, that could include small chairs as well, but as Anita said, try to make sure that they're comfy, or small ottomans, more like a poof or something like that, or even floor cushions. So bigger pillows that you can pile up somewhere. That's a great option, particularly if you're hanging out with your family and it's just maybe movie night or something like that, or you've got little kids. That's a great place for them just to pull those out and snuggle up wherever they want.
Something that I think looks great but isn't so comfortable is to have a bench at your dining room table, or the counter stools that don't have a back. Sometimes we need to use these for various reasons, but these are not the most comfortable to sit in. So I would think about if they're going to be used very often, and if visually the room can handle a chair with a back or a counter stool with a back because, again, I think that's just going to be much more comfortable, especially for guests that are staying there for a while.
Yeah, sometimes you just want that look of the cleanness. So you don't want to see the backs of sticking up, even at a dining table or certainly in a counter or an island. Again, then we go back to the functionality. If you know, hey, that's my spot where I open my laptop and I might be sitting there for a couple of hours, then you really should try to find something with a back because the functionality and the comfort should really trump then whether or not if you're having a little bit of extra visual noise in that space. But it does look really good, doesn't it?
Well, okay.
But we're talking about comfort, so we
can't true confessions at my dining room table. Now, I do have a bench there for to limit the visual noise so you can kind of see the table. But when I have guests come over, I move that out of the way, and that is, I get them really proper seats, proper chairs to sit in.
Oh, well, that's a good way to do it. So then where do you keep those extra chairs?
They're everywhere. You know my house.
Right, so you're just pulling them from all around the house.
I have chairs places. I have chairs.
Please,
different places.
I have chairs. Do we need to go there? I have.
Well, I don't know. I have a chair. I have a set of 6, a set of 6, and a set of 4.
Oh, and those painted ones?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was pretty good. Well, I mean, if you're a very special guest, if you get to sit on those. So this might not be something you think about right off the bat when you think about comfort, because sort of when you say the word comfort, particularly when we started getting ready for this episode, I was like, okay, soft things, cozy things, throws and this and that. But lighting, clearly lighting is so important to your decor. It's so important to Anita and I, and it should be so important to you too. If the lighting is so bright that you can't possibly be comfortable in the space, then that is going to impact the way you feel about it. You don't want the big hug with a spotlight on top of your head, right? That's just not going to feel good, right?
Or a fluorescent light. That gives me a headache. That's what I hate about office lighting. It's horrible.
I know. Work on your lighting. We don't have to go into it any further than that. One word, dimmer. If you can add a dimmer everywhere, you're fine. Even if it's hi-hats, even if it's overhead lighting. If you're on a dimmer, you're going to be fine. So we have so many episodes about lighting, so we can reference some of those as well. But definitely lighting is going to add to your comfort level.
Right. And you can get a plug-in extension cord that has a dimmer on it. They have them on Amazon, so you can use those for your lamps. It won't work for the ceiling fixtures, obviously, but that is going to help you get that lighting just the way you want it. And what else is going to make a room feel comfortable? I say plants. And I think that is something that, it's nature in your house. And I've recently added a lot more plants in my house. I'm not always here, so I'm always worried about them getting watered. But so far, so good. And they look so beautiful. They make me so happy. And yeah, I think it does make the room feel very comfortable. Obviously, you're not sitting on them, but but they give the room a feel of comfort.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. And, I have an episode coming up soon where I interviewed Maria from Growing with Joy. That's another podcast. Maria and I had such a great chat. She's all about houseplants. And so we're going to have some great information for everyone about houseplants. That'll be coming up in the next months or so. And let's get to those inserts that I talked about, because that is really important. We love pillows, and that's a wonderful way to add some comfort, additional layers of comfort to an already comfortable room. It's a great place to start for your pop of color or to add to your palette. But the insert is super important. And sometimes you'll see, oh, the insert's included. Don't want to disappoint you. But most of the time, when the pillow is a pretty reasonable price or on the inexpensive side, the insert is going to be pretty bad. Mm-hmm. So you want to think about maybe changing out the inserts or just finding pillow covers and not purchasing the set, the cover and the insert. That will save you on shipping charges, certainly if you're ordering online. And if you're buying something that's together, the pillow and the cover in a store, obviously you can feel it, so you'll know if it feels good or not. So if you've got a foam insert or you've got one that is kind of that cut up foam, oh, they're just so bad, or a super flat one. There's just so many ways that an insert can go wrong, but it's easy to get a good insert. Pottery Barn has great inserts. IKEA has great inserts, but for whatever reason, they have very limited sizes. So I believe that the IKEA 20 by 20 insert is a fantastic insert, but it doesn't even properly fit the 20 by 20 covers that they primarily sell, because as we've told you, the rule before is that generally the rule is that your insert is going to be 2 inches bigger than your cover, so it actually fills out the pillow. So if you've got a 20 by 20 cover by IKEA and you have a 20 by 20 insert by IKEA, they're not really jiving and giving you the nice puffy pillow that you want. So on Amazon, we can link to one or more of the pillow sites that are really good, and just get yourself a nice down alternative pillow insert. And that's going to make such a difference in your comfort level and even visually on how your pillows are sitting on your furniture.
So true. Such a difference. Going up that one size and getting comfortable down-filled pillow inserts is amazing. But they do need to be fluffed when you get up. But man, can you sink into those, and they make a big difference. So talking about comfortable, this is again something that looks comfortable and can feel comfortable, and that is the textiles in the room. So adding curtains, throws, pillows, a rug, all this is going to make the room have a comfortable feel to it. And you know what? It's going to be more comfortable sitting in there as well, or walking on a rug versus a hard floor. So these are things that can really beef up a room as far as the comfort level goes.
Yeah. So think about the function. Think about who's living in the space, what you're doing in the spaces. Surround yourself with things of meaning and quality, things that resonate with you, and choose deliciously inviting pieces that we've talked about. And Anita's given us some great ideas of specific items to get today. We wanted to share something else. We recently did an interview swap, if you will, with Betsy from Affordable Interior Design. We had recorded with Betsy in the past on each of our shows, and it was such a hit, and we really get along with Betsy. We think she's fantastic, and we were looking for other ways to continue the collaboration. So we recorded an episode where she had some of her listener questions, because that's the format of her show. She does all listener questions. And Anita and I got to ring in on 3 different questions along with Betsy. It is a really fun interview. So I'm going to share a clip of it right now during this episode. So enjoy. And if you love it, and you're going to love Betsy, because as we do, you can then subscribe to Affordable Interior Design. So without further ado, enjoy a clip from our recent interview with Betsy.
I'm very excited this week because I am joined by guests that you already know and already love. Remember Anita and Kelly from Decorating Tips and Tricks? Well, they are back with us again this week. And the thing that is so exciting is, we were talking and trying to figure out, well, what do we want to discuss on this collaborative podcast? And they said they might want to help me answer your questions. So I love that, because normally you just get my viewpoint or my response to your queries. And today you're going to get 3 different viewpoints. Welcome to the show, Anita and Kelly. It's so good to have you back.
Oh, we're so excited to be here. And, we've got opinions about everything. So, and often when we answer questions, Kelly has her opinion. I have my opinion. So it's fun for each of us to kind of throw those in, and people get to decide, which idea they want to follow, or maybe neither one. But it's always fun to step up and give some opinions.
Well, that's what I love about your podcast, is that you guys get to collaborate and discuss and maybe not always agree. And when I'm just in the booth talking with myself, I'm always right. I always have the best answer.
There's something to be said about that too, Betsy.
We're always both right also. We just say it's 2 different perspectives. So.
Yeah. Oh, no.
There we go.
Right. No, you're so right.
Well, I'll be the 3rd perspective on today's show. But without further ado, should we dig into some of these questions?
Yes.
Let's
these are
do
great
it.
questions. Oh, that was so much fun. So we'll let you know when our episode where we interview Betsy on our show comes out. Obviously, if you're a subscriber, you'll just get that directly to your device. Definitely tune in to Affordable Interior Design. I think you're really going to enjoy Betsy's show. So Anita, what are we defining today?
We are defining the Howard sofa. So the Howard sofa is a classic design with English country house charm. It's been around since the 19th century, and it's a very iconic design. It has a curved back, low arms, a deep seat, and guess what? It's very comfortable. So that's why I thought it was a perfect match for today. And I'm going to link to what the Howard sofa looks like. And when you see it, you're going to say, oh, that's still at the height of fashion. Even though this has actually been around for a long time. So the original Howard Furniture Company, Howard and Sons, was established in 1820 by John Howard. And it became a household name in Victorian England and soon earned a worldwide reputation for their quality craftsmanship. And their designs were shown in the Crystal Palace International Exhibition of 1862. Remember that? I mean, well, I don't mean you were there, but you know, you watched the show. Remember, we both watched the show Victoria a long time ago.
Oh, yes, of course.
And Albert was very involved with the Crystal Palace.
Albert. Yes, Albert was very involved with the Crystal Palace.
Right. Okay, so in 1901, the reputation for excellence was sealed with a royal warrant because then they became purveyors of fine furniture to the British monarchy. And another claim to fame is George Howard pioneered the production of the coil spring sofa, which is now commonplace. And before that, they used horsehair, as we were saying. And here's the interesting thing. They patented it as the elastic seat because the coil springs allowed the flexibility of movement that was a contrast to the horsehair cushions.
Huh.
So there you have it. So they actually had a lot of involvement in creating the kind of sofa that you're sitting on today.
So My Crush is a company that is sort of an amalgamation of a lot of creators. It's called Wolf and Badger. And I was looking for a particular belt to go with a dress that I had. I have a hard time finding belts. I don't really wear them that often, and I really needed a specific color, and because something had happened to the belt that went with this dress, and the dress didn't look good without the belt. You know, it's one of those things. So I was searching all around for a green suede belt of a certain width, and I came upon Wolf and Badger. I didn't know anything about them. They're not just selling belts. They offered a belt by this maker. They have curated a collection of makers. And, you know, we're all about people making stuff, you know, since Etsy hit the scene many years ago, you know, everyone's focused on smaller designers and makers. And that's a wonderful way for them to get their products seen, is to sort of come together under an umbrella. So Wolf and Badger is certainly not huge like Etsy. It's a really well put together website, and there's a lot of searchability on there. You can even search for, I think people can register, but you can search for clothing. There is decor. There's all sorts of things. They have a magazine. It's a really cool site to explore. And I was really pleased with their customer service and interface. And then the product that came was terrific. And it was a really reasonable price for a gorgeous handmade belt. So Wolf and Badger, we'll have the link in the show notes.
My Crush is the Lost in the Pond YouTube channel, and it's hosted by Lawrence, who says he is on a quest to uncover all the memos the UK and America lost in the pond. It's a funny take on the differences between life in the UK and the US. So he's actually married to an American, and he lives in the US and recently became a citizen, but he's also still a citizen of the UK. You know, he's got dual citizenship. But it's so funny, his take on life here, like the big garages and the big yards and, you know, and just the grocery stores. It's just very delightful, and he's very funny.
Oh my gosh, that sounds so great.
Yeah, I think you'd enjoy him. Check out our new website. I think you're going to love it. Leave us a voicemail. We want to hear from you. And thanks so much for hanging out with us. And remember, we're here to inspire you to create a beautiful home. Until next time.
Want to talk to us? Well, we really want to talk to you. So let's schedule a design consult. Anita and I are here to give you individualized, actionable advice on how to create the beautiful home you want and deserve. It's so easy to schedule a design consult with us. Simply click the link in the show notes or head to decoratingtipsandtricks.com/consult. When we talk to you on the scheduled time, we will be ready with so many great tips, advice, and yes, tricks. So sign up today for a design consult. We can't wait to talk to you.